ain't finished with them tonight. Still dealing with Donald, y'all. Don't shoot him. Pray for it. Pray for it. One thing I know about the Lord, one thing I know about Almighty God is that He is all powerful. And I don't care how strong or powerful or awesome some man or woman thinks that he or she is, God is the great I am. And He rules and He super rules. And He is still sitting on the throne, and He can do anything but fail. And so y'all pray for him. You don't like God, I'm sorry, that's your business. You don't like it when I talk about God, then don't listen. Get out, leave. I'm tired of worrying about what you think. I'm tired of worrying about what you like and what you don't like. I'm tired of begging y'all to do stuff. You won't even call when I ask you to call. You won't send an email when I ask you to send an email. You won't show up when I ask you to show up. You won't support me in what I'm trying to do for God and what I'm trying to do for the city. And I sat in jail all those years. I sat in prison all those years and said, Lord, if you just give me an outlet, if you give me a voice, I'll speak up. If you give me a mic, I'll tell the truth. If you give me a pen, I'll write the truth. If you give me an opportunity, I'll preach the truth. If you give me a platform, I'll expose the corruption I saw in prisons, the guards I saw beating down inmates, the guards I saw murdering inmates at Corcoran State Prison. I'll expose C.O. Jimmy McCartney. I'll expose Sergeant Vogel at Corcoran. I'll expose Sergeant Joseph Stratton at New Folsom State Prison. I'll expose these devils who kill inmates, who set them up, who lie on them, who cheat them, who mistreat them. I'll put them on Front Street. I'll tell the world about the wickedness I saw in prisons. These prisons that create monsters. Remember I told you I wrote a book called Creating Monsters? That's what it's about. It tells you how these guys that you keep thinking that, if he just go to jail, he'll get straightened out. He just go to prison for a little while, it'll clean him up. That the prisons that you send them to and allow them to go to, not only do they not straighten them out, they mess them up for life. They create monsters. They create killers. They create child molesters. They create rapists. That if a man wasn't a pervert when he went to prison, by the time he spends 4 or 5 years in there, chances are highly likely he'll be a pervert by the time he exits the prison. The systems that we have in place to so-called correct behavior, these systems are creating monsters. And I wrote about it in my book, Creating Monsters. And it is on Amazon.com in case a couple of you all want to go get it. But I'm tired of worrying about what you think and what you want and what you don't want. Because I'm going to say it again, y'all get on my nerves. I'm a revolutionary. I believe in revolution. I believe in people being active. I believe somebody listening to this podcast ought to call somebody else and tell them to listen. I believe somebody listening to this podcast ought to email somebody. You ought to text somebody. You ought to tell them about this brother who was locked up and got out and now is doing great things for God. He was once in and now he started a church and it's called Yes We Can Worship Center. And it's over there on South Central and Slauson. And let's go over there Friday and support him. And let's bring our son who got in trouble and see if he can help him. And let's bring our cousin who's on his way to getting in trouble and see if he can help him. And let's bring our auntie who sells drugs and see if he can help her. And let's bring our uncle who uses drugs and see if he can help him. I believe we ought to come together and do something productive and proactive and creative. And I believe in creating something. See, the system is creating monsters. I believe we ought to be creating brothers and creating sisters and creating healthy families and healthy neighborhoods. I believe that we can create. But I can't get y'all to do nothing except sit around and talk about what you don't like. I wish you didn't talk about God so much. I talk about what you don't like. I wish you did this. I wish you did that. I can't get y'all to do anything. I mean, what does it take? Do I need to hang from a tree? Do I need to act like Jim Jones and tell you the world is coming to an end in 3 weeks and bring me all your money and drink this Kool-Aid and you'll live, or drink that Kool-Aid and you'll die, or what do I need to do? Do I need to go to the creek and get me some water and come back and tell you it's holy water? Send me $99 and your life will be changed. Jump up and down 3 times, pay me $19.99 and you'll see a sign and you'll like. Do I need to come and look in your palms and make up some lies like the soothsayers do and the so-called psychics do and tell you this is gonna happen, that's gonna happen, this gonna happen, that's gonna happen, and then you'll follow me and then you'll help me build? Do you understand that there are people hurting out here? There are men laying in the streets tonight who all they need is a chance. All they need is somebody to believe in them. All they need is somebody who understands them, somebody who's been that way themselves, someone who's been through the fire and came out and didn't smell like smoke, someone to tell them to hold up their head, to clean themselves up, to dress themselves up, to humble themselves before God, to believe in themselves, to go and apply for a job, to go and find a place to shower, to go and find a program that feeds, to go and get that job that you think they should have, to go and change their lives, somebody to believe in them, someone to invest their time into them, someone to listen to them, someone to talk to them, someone to counsel them, someone to motivate them, someone to mentor them. All they need is a fair shot, is a chance. Sometimes they might need a little bit extra help, and we want to do this with our church, and I can't get you to support it. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Whoever you are listening right now, I don't give a dang. Whoever you are at this moment, the fact that you listened and didn't call somebody, the fact that you listened and wouldn't call 213-377-8681 to say, Sherman, I hear you, I support you, brother, I'm praying for you. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. The fact that you won't join in, the fact that you won't pray for me, the fact that you won't help me, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You know I'm trying to do the right thing. You know I'm trying to do a good work. You know I'm trying to bless people. You know that. But you won't help me. You just sit around and won't do anything. That's pretty sad. And that's pretty sick. What does it take? Just tell me. What would it take to get you, the man listening right now, to dial 213-377-8681 and say, I got your back. I'm praying for you. I care about you. I respect what you're trying to do. What would it take? Just tell me. Just tell me. Just tell me. Somebody just explain to me what the hell does somebody have to do to get you to understand how crucial it is that we get together and do this work. You won't support it? You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Whoever you are. Sitting at home on your couch with your prison job. Too cute to get involved. And I said it that way on purpose. But whatever you do, it's all good. I know that my Redeemer liveth. And he lives in the free pardon of my sins. And I know that you might not ever have my back, but God got my back. Bless you.